Will the BJP suffer the consequences of backing Brij Bhushan Singh? Let's take a look at what respondents in this India Today Sea Voter poll are saying. Now you've got 47% of the respondents saying yes, the party will suffer, 18% saying the party will suffer to some extent, 23% saying not at all. Now what is important is 33% of the NDA voters are saying the BJP will suffer, 21% are saying they'll suffer to some extent. So about half the BJP voters are also concerned about the impact this may have on the party's fortunes. Let's come to the next question after this. This is on whether the Prime Minister himself should intervene. And here 68% of the respondents are saying yes, the Prime Minister should intervene. 19% are saying no, the Prime Minister need not intervene. 58% of NDA respondents, NDA voters would like the Prime Minister to intervene. Is it appropriate for khaps and farmers to pressurize the government? 55% saying yes, pressure is good. 30% say no. So 55% of the overall respondents say okay, khap pressure isn't necessarily bad. And the last question, opinion on wrestlers talking about taking political support. How do people feel about this? 45% say it's okay for the wrestlers to be taking political support, 38% say no. So they don't really want the wrestlers to politicize this, but a majority say, okay, if that's the only way in which something can be done, then what option is there? Yashwant, Deshmukh, Rahul Srivastav raised an important factor, which will at some level determine what happens in this case, that even if about half the NDA respondents think this will damage the BJP's prospects, will an issue like this change voting behavior? One is that you don't particularly like what you do, what someone is doing, but you just hold your nose and walk the other way. So you know that it's stinking, but you don't get in that direction, you hold your nose, you walk away. The other is that you get so angry that it changes your voting inclination. To what extent may that happen? Because that then becomes really important.
Well, Rahul is absolutely correct on that one, that, things which leave a bad taste in your mouth, things which you don't really approve of, there are many things, but that may or may not actually affect your voting behavior. However, I mean, in the last question, that there was an interesting contrast, Rahul, which I want to point out. Some answers might be there. A big chunk of NDA voters do not approve of politicization or political, the stage being given to opposition politicians. Also, almost about 1/3 of opposition voters do not approve of that either. So it's like there are issues which grow beyond politics and the caste equations. So in other words, which Rahul decoded much better than me, Haryana politics might not be that impacted because the Haryana BJP politics was always about the non-Jat voters. Western UP, it might, but I don't think so that at the time of election it's a too far away thing and there are way too many issues. But one thing is very interesting, that when I was looking, even though the sample size is not that big that I should be doing much more caste-based analysis, but I figured out that this issue is going beyond the caste and religion calculation. It is something that people are more sensitive about the optics which is coming around. They are finding that these are the champions, these are the girls who should be supported. And if the supporters of Brij Bhushan Singh are saying that, this is probably a fight for political, approval on a political control of the wrestling federation and everything, if that is their narrative, then public has not really been briefed properly. What I'm simply trying to say, there are two sets of points. One point is saying that, okay, these ladies should be getting justice, they should be heard. Other is saying that, okay, this is a political fight and, sports people should not be using this as a political fight. Somehow at this point of time, majority of the public is buying the point number one. As far as they are concerned, as well the majority of the public across the political spectrum is concerned, they are looking at this with a sensitivity, and they are looking at it with more sensitivity towards the female wrestlers, and the optics are not good.